Alright guys, so we're going back for a minute to re-examine one of my favorite things I've done in a long time. The Galaxy Nebula kukri that Jason supplied to us. I really do enjoy it. I'm actually, you know what, I'm seeing a big difference between this and what I want to show you today. And the big difference is, I'm going to say, less is more. And you'll see what I mean in a minute. But this was a Cerakote project, and there is a video showing the steps on this in kind of a rough fashion, because I did it all with my phone, you know, one-handed, handheld. I will put a thing you can click at the end of this video, you know, one of the little 4 tile things, if you want to see kind of a rough how this was done. But it's a pretty easy, nice project to do. You can do it with a lot of different colors and stuff. But I wanted to go bigger. And you know, the one that I have now is different. And I've showed it, just a picture of it. Looking at it, it is different. It's a different look. I did it same technique, but again, you know, kind of whatever. I was looking for something big that I could use, and I had an old. They're out of production now. It's a cold steel Kopis machete. I don't even think I'm going to be able to fit the whole thing on camera. Very people either love this thing or hate this thing as machetes go. Kopis is of course this kind of small, short sword shape, very popular, goes way back to Greece, ancient Greece and everything. It was not very popular as a machete goes. Has this? It's a molded plastic handle that could be better. And very thin 1055 carbon steel. It has flex as a machete should, but it was just not a great machete. So what I did was one of the color patterns, you know, colorways I was thinking about doing with this was like a Northern Lights kind of thing. I'm fortunate enough to have been in Alaska for, you know, military duty up there, and if you have not seen the Aurora in real life, I say that because of Close Encounter, the Aurora Borealis, but it was funnier when he called it the Aurora Borealis. If you have not seen the Northern Lights in real life, it is one of the most amazing sights in nature. So I wanted to do that kind of color pattern. I didn't want to just recreate this exactly. I love the kind of skyline with the trees and everything, but I just wanted to do it a little bit different. So this being such a huge palette to work on, I wanted to do similar but different, like I said. So I chose some colors, and I have some pictures, since we can't really see the whole thing in frame very well. I have some pictures that I'll be flashing up of the whole thing and everything, and the Cerakote colors that I used. But the process was pretty much the same. Started with doing a you know, masking off the handle. So the handle, which by the way got a midnight bronze finish to make it look more like, you know, the Bronze Age tool that it is, would have had a metal handle. Graphite black. This is armor black, which has, you can see, more of a semi-gloss sheen to it a little bit. Graphite black is more of a flat black. So went with a just sort of a black horizon line that matches the curve of this blade. And then kind of sprayed along, and then went and took my masking off. And then rather than using, so this is what we call a hard edge mask, okay? Because it's a very defined straight lines with masking. Then there's soft edge. You don't get a soft edge with masking. That's where you take the spray gun or an airbrush, whatever. And I don't know if I have anything that would demonstrate that right here. But that's where you just let the flow. Actually, I kind of do. So this little guy, you see how there's that little bit of feathering where the colors meet. It's not a direct hard edge between the colors, and they kind of blend together a little bit. That's what I wanted to do here. So I used a lighter blue, which you really can't see. I mean, you really can't see the blue background at all. But I wanted the sky to have a much more pronounced difference than the black. And then I selected some colors that were very Aurora Borealis, some very bluish greens, yellows, greenish yellows, you know. And unfortunately, one of the colors I used, Citron, was a little old, so it didn't come out just as nice as I wanted it. And it kind of also, I used the Aztec Teal, which is really nice. Mamba Green or Island Green. Again, we'll look at the pictures. But I got what I thought was some of those very nice colors. And I did the same shooting through the 3M pad, the Scotch-Brite, to get the nebula look. And then what I did is I just did, again, I could have demonstrated soft edge right here. Just gave some kind of spraying, shooting the color straight down here, straight down from the spine, to give like just a misty light coming down effect. And I did it on both sides. And I was really happy with it. So I did both. I did the diffused method, and then I did just the spray. And again, you know, it looks like a lot of turquoise, because if that yellow, the Citron yellow, had really done its job, if it wasn't an old color and it had cured properly, you would have seen a lot more yellow interspaced. But I think these colors look nice anyway. And then when I did, when it was all done, was I reloaded the graphite black, and then you can see this kind of feathery line. It took me some experimenting to get it with our spray guns, and then kind of just re-emphasized that there is a horizon here between the sky and, because when doing some of these, especially the sprays down, it went down across the black, and I wanted there to be a separation of where color ends and stuff. And then I masked off all along the bevel, and then just re-sandblasted off that. Now the edge on this was pretty, I mean, you can see there's bites taken out of it. This needs, and there's a huge roll over here. I mean, I got this, Dave gave it to me. It needs care. It's not ready to do any serious stuff. I wanted to do an arts and crafts project on it. I did the stars like I did here, but the reason the stars show up so much better on this one is because there's so much less color on it and more of a dark background. There are stars on this, but I should have done less color or made the stars bigger. But this is completely a wall hanger. This is not to be used. This is just to do a nice colorful project and hang up in the shop. Because this, like I said, this thing is, the steel's not bad. 1055 isn't bad steel, but the heat treat on these was not great. I mean, you go online, you're going to find a lot of complaints about this particular machete. It's more of a look at me piece than it ever was a useful thing. But I think that, it did give us a nice, interesting shape and a nice big sweeping. From the way I look at it, this big sweeping curve, and it almost gives us a mountain, a nighttime mountainy profile, to have the northern lights above. So that's kind of why I wanted to do it. So I'd love to know what you guys think. I'm going to be doing this this thing in all sorts of different colors and different patterns, and playing with it and messing with it on a whole bunch of different stuff. Blues and greens are my favorite colors. So getting all artsy fartsy like this, is inevitable when I have the opportunity to do it. What do you guys think of this? And then what do you think of the difference from my original go at it? Do you like it better with just like a nice soft edge? Or do you like the kind of masking with the trees? We're also going to do some with like a city landscape, and then kind of nebula, spacey night above it. This does have a certain something, but I'd love your honest opinion. If you hate it and it sucks, tell me you hate it and it sucks. But please also tell me you hate it and it sucks, and why. What would you do to change it? What should I do differently next time? Because I totally respect your right to say I hate it and it sucks, but I would encourage you to be constructive and say, here's why it sucks. Here's what you would like to see different, Think of everything as a potential giveaway item. And, what would you like to see it as if it was going to be given away, you know, something in the future, and how you'd like it changed. Think of that. So anyway, thanks for looking at it, guys. It's fun to mess with color. You know, tactical stuff is cool, but it's really fun to get custom and artistic and mess with color. So I like the other side better than this side. But yes, thank you for looking at it. I thank you for your comments and any ideas you guys might have for stuff to do in the future. Again, considering everything is a potential giveaway item at some point. And I really look forward to reading comments. So, Happy New Year, if I haven't said it already. And remember that you guys are absolutely awesome. I appreciate every single one of you. And I'll be back again real soon.